Hello and welcome to Hold the Line. I'm Rodney Cyrus and I'm joined by the lovely,
You don't know my surname.
the lovely Ali Coker. God, come on, you can't leave me hanging like that. Come on, come on. I know it's an emotional day. This is the women's football phone-in, and is actually a phone-in. Phones have been, calls have been booked. Anyway, lots to talk about. Before we get into that, I'd like to say a big thank you to all of those individuals that are watching, that have watched, have supported, and the individuals behind the scenes. Craig, big shout out to Craig. Big shout out to DM. And I know that Emma's in the background somewhere, and she might actually phone in because it's going to be one of those days. Apart from that, I'm going to stop talking. Ali, what's going on?
Yeah, no, not too bad. Not too bad. It's an exciting end of season because more so for the bottom than the top. So we do have to say that we are sad to see Bristol go from the top flight, but it could have been any one of three teams. So it's the first time we've had a proper relegation battle to go down to final day.
Yeah, it was tense. I mean, there were so many games on the FA Player. I tried to sneak one while visiting my mum.
Unless you were a Birmingham Tottenham fan, then you didn't get your game until half time.
Yeah, technical issues. Probably media blackout continued for certain clubs. And I actually kind of picked to go and watch, or to watch and pay attention to Bristol. And I wanted to know what was happening now.
I'm gonna give.
I can hear someone in the background. Can you hear? It's like, who's that? Can you hear someone? Are we getting a call? Oh, see, this is what happens on live phone. Can you hear it? It's old school. Operator, can you connect? There's a call coming in. This is what it's about. It's like live radio. Shh, everyone.
Hello.
Hi Georgia, it's DM here from Hold the Line. You're not live yet. You're not online
Yes, you
yet.
are.
But yeah, I'm just got you on the line, so I'm going to drop you in at some point. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So you're an Aston Villa fan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Congratulations on staying up. I support Bristol, so obviously shit day for me. But
no, sorry.
no,
well,
it's
you know
fine.
what?
It's fine.
There's a bit of me.
We will. Well, who knows if we will? But
there's a bit of me that wants to mute DM. I think she's caught on, and I didn't, because I just thought to myself that was the essence of today.
Yeah.
Fans are impacted.
Yeah.
And DM is a fan who's been impacted along with Shahan, and it's impacted. DM, are you there?
I am. You heard me speaking. So.
We did. It's all part of life. It's all part of the phone-in. This is great.
DIY or die. So Georgia, you're online now. So I'm going to shut up.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Hey guys.
Hi Georgia. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm not too bad. I want to ask you a question, but I want Ali to ask you a question first, because she's a West Ham fan, and you guys were all so close at the bottom of the table.
Yeah, so tense.
So tense.
Did you think you were going to get something from Arsenal today? Like, did you have that belief, or did you have that sort of like, oh God, I hope Bristol don't sort of?
Yeah, so I was really scared going into the Arsenal game, because obviously they've still got a bit to fight for. I think wasn't Viv, she was pushing for Golden Boot and stuff, and I didn't really want to rely on getting anything from them. But obviously all the games happening at the same time, like I knew that the team would do everything they could. So yeah, I guess it's good we weren't, it wasn't one or the other that kept us up. It was both, and we ended up 10th, which is impressive, I suppose, for the first season back. That's more than I was asking for.
I have to be honest, Georgia. I want to ask you, apart from about the relief that you have, and I'm sure that's shared with the other Aston Villa fans, what are your thoughts on the change of manager mid-season? Do you believe it actually worked and helped you stay up?
I don't know, to be honest. I feel like that it was done in kind of a weird way. Like the fans, we feel a bit like we don't really know what happened or what's going on at the moment. It sounds like Gemma still has her job, but sort of was relieved of her responsibilities for the rest of the season. So not really sure what's going to happen now. But you know, she's so well loved from the fan base, and I think from the players as well. So I had trust in her, and I don't think she had long enough. But I guess the club were just focused on survival and did what they thought was right. But I'd love to see her back in her role, to be honest.
I mean, we've got a comment on the screen from Craig, who's behind the scenes, and his question is direct. He goes, do you think Gemma will be back in charge as manager next season?
I hope so. I think that's what we all want to see. And I guess, you know, they called Big Knock, they said he's interim manager. So I assume that's what their plans were. But I don't know whether they've just sort of kept it, you know, really hush because of how popular Gemma was. But who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Another question for you. In terms of the season and your league table position, do you believe that you've missed the striker that you had in the previous season that scored plenty of goals?
Yeah, I think because we lost our top goal scorer, that was going to be really difficult shoes to fill. And I felt like our goals were sort of coming from all over the pitch, really, which I guess is what happens when, you know, you don't have somebody leading the line. And I hope that's what we look for in the summer. So, you know, I feel like we can finally get excited about next season now and build on what we've got. But a goal scorer has to be the priority, really, because we can't just be relying on one from here and there, which is sort of what happened this year.
So,
sorry, go on, Ali, go on.
Yeah. Controversially, though, do you think that, because everybody was saying in the January window, Aston Villa have got, is it Imabuchi? You guys have got this top scorer from Japan, and she's not done much. Like, there was a cracking goal on her, was it her debut she scored? And then that was about it. Do you think you need to, are you going to keep her? Is that still in the works? Or is it, you're going to have to get someone to supplement her or replace her completely?
I don't know, there's talk about her maybe like the style of play isn't really suiting her, like it's not allowing her to do what she's capable of, which I can kind of see. You know, she's got the skills, and you know, we were sort of, it was a bit more of desperate performances from us towards the end of the season. So, you know, she's more of like someone that, I don't know, she's a bit of a flair player maybe. So yeah, I don't know, I'd love to see her you know, have the players around her to allow her to play, you know, to her full potential. And, you know, she wasn't even in the starting lineup today, which is obviously a surprise considering, you know, she was the statement signing in January. But I guess, you know, it just hasn't worked out yet. But yeah, another one for the future, hopefully.
Yeah, we've got a comment, another comment from Emma saying, build around Iwabuchi. It's strange that you mentioned that lack of game time today, and you talk about, you know, the need for goals from other areas. I mean, I had the good fortune to speak to and interview Melissa Johnson, and I asked her quite clearly, you know, straightforward, what happened? How did that come about that she left Aston Villa? And, you know, I think it was a shock to her in terms of, they say they were going in a different direction. And I genuinely believe that Villa made a big mistake in getting rid of a natural goal scorer. And if there's anything that I've noticed, and maybe you'll disagree or agree, that I've noticed from watching the WSL and the Championship, if you don't have a goal scorer in your team that scores you 10 league goals a season, you are nowhere near the top 5 teams in the league. And for whatever reason, whether it was general manager's decision, whether it was above them, they took that decision to say we're going in a different direction, and it nearly cost Aston Villa, a very big club. They're not a small club, a very big club. But if, you know, from my point of view as a fan watching the game, I would say that they need to address that. I want to ask you this question very kind of in a broad sense. Who would you want to go, and who would you want to come in as a striker to help fire Villa up the league next season?
Oh, I don't know, to be honest. I'd like someone with a bit of experience, because I'm looking forward to seeing Freya Gregory, our new youngster that's just started breaking through. Looking forward to seeing what she can do, and also Shania Hales as well. I like the look of, and they're both sort of young up and coming players. And I think maybe if we bring in someone with a bit more experience, they could complement each other really well. You know, it's not really time to take any more risks. You know, we've got sort of the inexperienced, hungry players in terms of scoring goals. But I think, yeah, someone maybe a bit older, someone that's proven at scoring goals is what we need.
Well, you definitely need that. I will say that, but I'm going to say I don't know if Ali's got any more questions for you, but I'm glad you called in. I'm really happy that you survived for you and your fellow fans, and look forward to seeing Aston Villa next season. Maybe they should go and get a striker.
I'm less happy because we've got to wear weird kit combinations when we play each other. Like
more than one claret and blue in this league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do you have any other questions for us at all, or is it just in case you do?
I don't think so. But what did you guys expect going into the last day? Did you know who was going to go down today, or?
Well, I didn't have much faith in Aston Villa, to be honest. I will be honest. I won't try and lie. I actually felt that Bristol would do something, and Arsenal would beat you on the last day. But football is a very strange thing, and Aston Villa have survived. So that's why I'm being honest. Ali, are you going to be honest?
Yeah, no, I'll be completely honest. We thought the same thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
When you consider the two teams, like who's the more beatable, Brighton or Arsenal,
Yeah.
we thought you guys got, you know, the raw edge of the deal. I think it was the draws against us that cemented the thought that you might go down. But, you know, you powered through, you persevered, you got a point from Arsenal, which not many people have done this season. So fair play to you.
Yeah, it was definitely a scary one to go into on the last day. But, you know, what a better test than Arsenal to stay up.
Yeah, well, that is very true. That is very true. Thank you, Georgia, for calling. Please do call again when we're back for a new season. I have no idea when that is, but do call again. All right, brilliant stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, lovely. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. And for those watching, please do send your comments in.
Yeah,
Just call.
Yeah, call, join. I promise you, we don't bite.
Look on the Twitter handle, and the details are all there. We do have it, but I'm technically abject at the moment. So there you go. Look at that first caller, Villa fan. Testing my nerve, that did, since I called them out.
Yeah.
There you go.
No,
right, I've been told.
I think they need to hang on to Natalie Haig. If any like Villa personnel are listening, you guys need to hold out for Natalie Haig, because she saved you on many occasions this season.
Natalie Haig, listen, make sure you go to the __ at Hold the Line on Twitter. Look for the pinned tweet. Details are there so that you can get in contact with the show, and you'll speak to DM by DM. Comments. Who's that in the house? Who's that in the house? Reese is in the house.
Oh, it's my buddy.
Reese is in the house. All right, Reese. Reese's comment: big summer for West Ham. Would like us to bring in Babajida. Woo! A centre back with height and a backup centre forward, and replace what we lose in the summer. Gosh, there you go. I don't know what's happening there. That's going to be something. Who knows what's going to? I mean, that is a. Who would you want, Ali? Who would you want?
I don't know, to be honest. I want someone that I don't know yet. I feel like we have all these like dream lists and stuff like that, and I'm like, I want someone that is going to surprise me. Like, for example, Cisco for us this season. Didn't know who she was. She was a French player that was a ex-teammate of Darley, and she's proved absolutely pivotal in our defence. So I want someone like that is under the radar.
Under the radar. You know, we've got, and I need to get I need to get my friend back online, but I'm not even sure where they are. I have to kind of check. So can someone put the form in the comments? Will do. I was just doing that. So, okay, so what we're going to do is copy this link. I'm going to put this in the comments there, so everyone can go onto Google Forms. There it is. Contact, fill in the details, book a call, all sorted. Brilliant stuff. Good. Yeah, do you know what, right? I didn't see all of the games, obviously, because it's just difficult trying to maneuver on the FA Player and try and see what's happening on BT Sport and all of that other stuff. We've got to say something about Chelsea very quickly. I feel not even quickly, but we do. You know, Chelsea, obviously, and this is probably difficult for Emma. She's gonna think. Yeah, she's going to say we need to let you in. I'm going to say we are going to let you in. DM. I can just see your camera, so that's all. Your image is not so I'm going to add. Where was I? Yes, Chelsea. There we go. There you are, DM. You're in. Oh, there you go. This is all live. This is how it works. It's live. Chelsea did a really nice thing. You know, really nice kind of ceremony recognition for Farrah Williams, who is bowing out from top flight football, and there's been so much love shown to her in terms of her time in the game. And you know, I have to be honest, I count myself as very lucky that I was able to go and watch Reading play live when they were playing Manchester United, and I saw her play in the flesh. And just the way she manipulates the ball, just the way that she kind of moved the ball around the pitch, set piece delivery, corners from either flank, kicking the ball with either foot. I mean, there are top flight professionals in the men's game that just don't have that ability. They just don't, you know, and they don't know how to kick with their left foot. And, you know, Farrah Williams could easily go and do a job in coaching the men's over there. Yes, and there's a comment from Craig. He's in the house. This overcoming personal adversities too. Hell of a person Farrah is. Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. I just wish I'd have been able to get to speak to her on an interview with Series. I'll try.
Yeah, she's a role model for so many people, though. Like Craig said, she's overcome personal adversities. The first part of her career, she was homeless. As many people know, she was one of the first players that came out in the modern WSL era, so that she's a huge role model for LGBT fans. And also, there's not going to be a player like her for such a long time. Like, who else is going to get to 175 caps for us? So yeah, like, we hope that you do stay within the game, Farrah, hopefully in a coaching capacity, but enjoy the rest for now.
Yeah, come on, be a guest on Hold the Line. We've got a caller.
Yes, it's Abby, who fortunately is a Reading fan and can possibly even talk about Farrah Williams. So here is Abby.
Well, this is one step closer to greatness. Hello, Abby. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm not too bad, actually. I'm okay. I have my nice hot honey and lemon. I have chocolate rice cakes close by. I have you on the other line. Ali's in the house. DM's in the house. Craig's in the house. Emma's in the house. People are watching. I'm good. There's only one thing that I'm not happy about, Abby, before you go on. It's a line of duty. And at that point, I'll check my WhatsApp messages for Emma, because I'm sure she's got a few things to say. Anyway, I'm taking up your time.
No worries at all. No worries at all.
What have you got for us in terms, apart from eulogizing for Farrah Williams?
Yeah, so I am Abby Tysus. I am the Football in Berkshire women's football correspondent.
Wow, thank you.
So Reading is no worries at all. Reading is kind of in my remit in that case. They are kind of top of the list in terms of coverage that I do for women's football. But I actually cover 26 teams in total. They are just one of 26. We also have Maidenhead in the National League Southwest. And then I'm not going to name all the other 24, however many. But I also cover...
You could. We just finished at 9 o'clock. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's 4 teams in the Southern Women's Regions Football League, and then there's also the rest, however many that is, 20 teams in the Thames Valley County Women's Football League. So yeah, I basically I'm just trying to give a voice and a platform to all of these incredible women's teams. I also play within the Thames Valley County Women's Football League as well. So I play for a team called S4K FC Berks County Ladies. So I've actually just come off the back of a double header. So yeah, my team won 2 games, which is great to see. And yeah, we're kind of fortunate enough that our league kind of decided to there was a unanimous vote to continue the league, which is really great, because obviously a lot of people have had their seasons curtailed, including our kind of tiers 3 to 6 teams. So that includes our Maidenhead and then our Southern Region teams. So yeah, it's just a really great opportunity that I get the chance to kind of showcase all of the brilliant women's football teams within Berkshire, and that obviously includes Reading as well. And obviously you're having a nice chat about Farah before, so yeah, that's really amazing to see. Yeah, she's just a phenomenal player, isn't she?
You got any great memories of Farah?
Do you know what? So I did a podcast the other day, and we were talking about it, and I just can't pick one. She's just such a player. She's just so good. She scored some incredible goals as well. I rewatched the Reading Twitter kind of their like sort of roundup video, and I just forgot how many great goals she scored for us. She's had a phenomenal career, hasn't she? And she's just such a humble individual, which is really nice to see, but also just absolutely bosses it on the pitch.
She does boss it, and I just thought, let me just correct this one there. Is she a legend?
Absolutely, 100%.
Do you know, I'm like that. Do you know what? It's almost like not even so much as an open question. It's very closed. I'm expecting you to say yes anyway. It's from what I saw of her, I was always impressed. I always thought that she was just, leaps and bounds above so many of the players on the pitch. But I suppose with time, the legs start to go, but the brain doesn't. Still had the ability to move the ball around the pitch. It was really good. I'm upset that I only saw her towards the last 2 to 3 years. I feel as if I've missed something. When someone comes to the party late and you hear the last 3 tracks and the DJ's really, and everyone goes, "Oh, it was a great night." I arrived at that point in time. I've come at the wrong time. So, I know that she's had so many magical moments, and she's a great player, and this is what you can tell a great player and a great person when other teams and other managers acknowledge you in the way that they have acknowledged her, and it says a lot about football and women's football. That is really, really important, which is one of the things why I kind of started watching women's football, because I'm so fed up, and I've said it before about men's football and the cynicism and the fakery about it, that there's something so wholesome that another manager and another team can say, "We recognize how good you are, and we will demonstrate that to you, despite our fans saying anything." Anyway, I've rattled on. I do have a question for you about Reading.
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, when I watch them, I think one week they can take on the world, the next week they get taken apart. I mean, what do Reading need to be in the top 4 or 5 clubs in the WSL next year?
Wow, big question.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, so no, not at all. So I think the thing that I keep saying to people is that Reading are just consistently inconsistent, unfortunately. And I'm saying that as a fan and as someone who writes about them. Yeah, they're just pure fury sometimes, I think, is how I feel about Reading. I mean, it's why obviously Farah's leaving. We lost Jess Fishlock kind of just at the beginning of end of May, April, sorry. Angra James, obviously, she's off to North Carolina as well. So, I mean, absolutely, initially, we're going to need something in that midfield, because that is a big kind of miss that we've got there. I don't. It's a real challenge, to be honest, to figure out what it is we're actually missing. I mean, no disrespect to our players, but we are the oldest WSL team, so I don't know if that maybe has an influence on it, because we're kind of we've got the experience over the kind of youth, I guess. And I don't know if that maybe reflects in our pace possibly at all. Yeah, it's just, I'm not sure. It's a lot of fine tuning. It'll be an interesting one to kind of watch our kind of summer transfer window, because I really felt like, well, to begin with, I was kind of in a blind panic last year because we had a kind of exodus of 8 players leave, and I was like, what are we doing here? Because everybody else seemed to be kind of on the bandwagon of signing people, and then I don't know, we kind of seem to have a big stream of kind of more legends kind of appear for us. So we kind of signed Carter from Arsenal, and Emma Mitchell came in too, and then we had Diana Cooper come, and then obviously Fishlock, she appeared as well. So I was a bit kind of like, oh no, we're not doing too badly. But then everybody else kind of was like, right, well, let's turn it up a little bit. And yeah, just some incredible signings obviously happened over the transfer window. So we stepped it up a notch with our window, but so did everybody else. So I think it will be a really interesting one to watch us during this summer transfer window as well, because I mean, up until kind of a couple of years ago, we were a top 4 team. So the fact that we finished 7th is kind of frustrating, really. And I think I said to a few people at the beginning of the season, if we didn't finish outside top 5, I'd be disappointed. So I am disappointed that we are in 7th. So yeah, I'm not sure what that kind of magic formula is that we need. But yeah, as I said, we'll be ones to watch in the transfer window, hopefully.
Definitely. We've got
great question from Craig.
I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, which is about how you guys have moved from Adams Park to the Madejski and how you think that may have changed things for Reading. I have to say, as a travelling fan who doesn't drive, I'm grateful you guys have moved to the Madejski, because Adams Park was a nightmare to get to.
It's industrial park.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult because obviously, there's been no fans all season, well, bar one game. So you can't really kind of blame it on that as an influence. I don't know. It is a big stadium, to be fair. So obviously, I guess if you look at, Kingsmeadow, for example, it's quite small, isn't it? And so maybe it is a big stage, isn't it, really? So, but I don't think, it's a difficult one, really. Like I said, no fans in, so you can't be sure that that's not had an influence. Although I think a lot of the players did say that one game that we had fans in really did make a difference. So, yeah, I think that's another thing to kind of watch as soon as kind of we are allowing fans back in, that maybe that might have an influence. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky one.
But the comments are coming in, which you can't see, Abby. It says literally in the middle of nowhere, Wickham's ground, then surrounded by trees. So I thought I'd share that with you. Rachel Rowe, how good is this individual?
Oh, she's been fantastic for us this season. She's been a real playmaker for us, I'd say, actually. She's been really vital in that midfield, I'd say, actually, and kind of pushing further up front a few times. Yeah, she really feels like she's kind of come into herself this season, actually. Not that she's not had some great seasons beforehand, but this really feels like this has been a really great season for her. And obviously that's reflected in her kind of 5 goals. I think that means she's our top goal scorer, actually. I haven't entirely checked. But yeah, she really is just such a great player. And I think has been I think it's probably part of her being part of like the Welshies club. So there's just been a real kind of camaraderie, and she's really been a kind of a big influence in kind of, I think, in terms of just like keeping the kind of team morale together. Yeah, she's another one that's just really humble as well. Like, I think there's maybe actually just at Reading in general, people kind of go kind of under the radar a little bit because we aren't one of those kind of big teams. But yeah, I think she's had a really great season. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing her again next season.
Yeah, I can't wait to actually get to. I mean, that was the first game that I actually went along, as part of the podcast that I do elsewhere and as media, and they were so kind to me, Reading. I mean, really hospitable and welcoming, and just knew that I wanted to kind of play my part in helping to spread the word of the game. It was very nice of them. Very nice, and treated me very, very well. So, I have nothing but kind words to say about Reading. Not for every club, but those are I won't say who, but those are the ways of the world. There was one other question. Oh, you know what it was, Abby? I had the chance to interview. Obviously, I told you I've been busy. Melissa Johnson, who's currently at Sheffield United, was at Aston Villa, and she told me something during the interview, and I said it was a possibility that she almost joined Reading in January, but there was an issue
Oh,
with
wow.
the paperwork. Yeah, this is from her mouth. All recorded, and she was signed after the deadline by 30 minutes, so she couldn't join.
Oh, wow.
So that's
Okay.
something to look out for,
Well,
maybe.
So I just look at that and I thought, wow, knowing what she did for Aston Villa in terms of goals, and this is my kind of review of the goal scorers in the WSL. Those teams at the top have out and out goal scorers. That's the ticket. And if you need to punch to, as you say, 5th place, 4th place, you're going to need someone who can score you 10 goals at least. And would someone like that be a good acquisition for Reading next season?
Yeah, I don't see why not at all. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, like I said, I think Rachel Rose, our top goal scorer, and she's got 5. So there seems to have been lots of goal scorers for Reading. So I mean, I guess that's good in terms of having like a versatile set of kind of players that can all have a kind of go in front of goal. But like you say, those kind of big teams are the ones who can score you kind of double figures minimum. So yeah, like I said, one to watch in the small window, I think.
Oh, definitely. Ali, have you got anything else to ask Abby? I'm so glad Abby's just got a wealth of knowledge. It's just you could talk all night.
Just a really quick one, really. I want to talk about your captain, Tash Harding, who's talking about Welsh's before. I think she's probably one of the most understated captains in the league at the moment. I just want to know what you think her influence is over the squad. Do you think you need a mouthy captain like certain teams, mine for one of them, or do you think her understatedness actually really works well for Reading?
I have so much time for Tash Harding. I just love her. I just really do. She's so great. And yeah, no, I do actually think the kind of understatedness of her does work for Reading, genuinely. I mean, she can give as good as she gets, I guess, occasionally, and like she will turn it on when she needs to, but actually she's quite a kind of cool cucumber, and she's very kind of level-headed, and I think actually that's perfect for Reading, really. And I think like I said, I just have got a lot of time for her. I just think she's great. So yeah.
Brilliant. You know what? I just realised something, Abby. At the beginning, you listed so many teams that you were responsible for. It's my duty to ask you to share your Twitter details with everyone, so that, because if you're trying to spread the word of those teams, then maybe you can do that now, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you search for women's football in Berkshire, you will find us on there. We also have an equivalent, so just looking for football in Berkshire, really, and you'll find me on there. If you want to find me, I am ABFRTI1, I think.
Oh,
gosh. You've got like a little comment thing.
We'll put it up in the comments.
You might have to put that up. I can't write fast enough, Abby. You just said that.
It's all right. I'll put it in the comments if you're happy for me to do that, Abby.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Not a problem at all. That's where you can find me.
Brilliant. Oh, good stuff. Well, you know what? When the football's back on, and we make our way down to Reading as a team, as a hold the line team, we'll catch up with you. I'll just put things in there. They're probably thinking, what, hold the line team? That's right, hold the line team. Yeah, hosting a women's phone-in from a football club near you. I'm just really causing trouble right now. That's what I'm doing. I'm causing trouble. Abby, you have no idea what kind of trouble I'm causing. Trust me.
No, absolutely. Yeah, you'd be more than welcome to come join us in the Royal County of Berkshire. Absolutely, we'd be happy to have you.
Brilliant. We'll get that old Scooby-Doo bus out now and get on it. There you go. Thanks a lot, Abby.
No, thank you.
There you go.
Great.
Brilliant stuff. Who's that? Is that DM's just managing the call in the background? Oh, brilliant stuff. We got a comment from Stuart. He's hi peeps. He says, were the final WS standings fair? Did everyone finish where they deserved to finish? We know Emma's in the background. Emma, do you wanna comment on that, Emma, at all?
I think that's
Do you want to comment? Do you want to come in, Emma, and comment? Say, yeah, yes, she does. Yeah, she does. Yeah, because Emma's in the house.
Get in.
You're right. We're right. I know that you're in the background and you're just chilling, and you don't have to stay.
I'm not chilling. I'm working.
Well, I'm just not saying it. Like, I'm just saying it, in terms of the standings. Do you think that the league finished where it needs to finish? Are you happy with where Man City? Because you said you wanted to rant, and this is your moment.
Yeah, I feel like we could have just had another match day week. Maybe just play Chelsea again and just put it right. I'm so disappointed at the minute that we finished second place again. It's just. I mean, don't get me wrong, I wasn't heading into the weekend like a miracle was going to happen and we were going to, it was all going to, Chelsea were going to lose and we were going to win the league or anything like that. But I just kind of feel, again, I think today's game was missed opportunities, a story of the beginning of the season that's reflected in today's performance, and, two missed penalties.
No. I'm going to stop you there. You didn't miss the penalties. Your penalties were saved.
And that is
do you know what?
You just side it. You took terrible
Look how red I'm going.
And we saved them.
Listen, right, Emma. Right, listen. DM is saying we've got another caller on, right? They're here right now. Emma, do you want to come? Do you want to stay on, Emma, or do you want to come back on? We'll get you back in. We'll get you back in a minute.
I'll come back on in a bit because Paul's coming on to talk about City. So
okay, brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you in a bit. Yeah. This is great, isn't it?
When they say they missed them, no, you didn't. After you played them.
You two, just getting into it. No, that's right. You. No. God, you're not even on the terraces. Can you imagine walking past? I can't read those comments out. We're live on air. Please, everyone who's watching, thank you very much. Please make sure you comments in the chat. On Twitter, make sure you do that as well. Tell us what you think about the end of the season and the results in terms of where your team finished. I know a lot of Man United fans will be a little bit upset, disappointed probably, in terms of the push for top three. Lots of talk around Champions League. Not able to make it this time, probably next time. But it's a big thing. And I'll say this, and I said this during our chat with Abby. If teams need to progress in the Women's Super League at the top end, top five, you need a striker that scores 10 league goals. Not 10 goals in all competitions, 10 league goals. And it's the same in the Championship. A very simple formula. You need a goal scorer that can do that, and you need to win more than 10 league games. If you don't have those two things going for you, you're toast. Very simple. Then you're in the mix for mid-table mediocrity and you're fighting for relegation, and that is a fact. The statistics will show it. And you just look at Man City and Chelsea and Arsenal. Arsenal have got Vivian Miedema, but Man City obviously have got such a stellar roster, but Chelsea, Kirby, Harder, and Beth England can't even get on the pitch. That is like a machine. So, going forward, any team that wants to kind of punch their way in a new superimposed, super bloated, hyperinflated Sky Sports product coming to the screen, coming to a screen near you. I'm joking about hyperinflated. You're going to need strikers, or you're going to need midfielders that score at least 8 league goals. Definitely. That's still private comment. Someone was saying, "I'll fight you afterwards." I don't know who that's for, but it's not me.
We've got a caller, Rodney.
We've got a caller. Is it? Where are they?
Hi,
is
Jay.
it Paul? Oh, is it Jay?
He's a Chelsea.
Hey there. Yes, sir.
Jay. Oh, Jay, listen. I was just talking about Chelsea, and all of a sudden, it's not planned. This, Hi, Jay. How are you?
You know what you're doing. I'm well, thank you.
I don't. Well, I have good people around me to keep me on the straight and narrow. That otherwise, I'd be lost. I would be lost. You must be feeling really, really happy as a Chelsea fan. Well, are you a Chelsea fan just for the women, or are you a Chelsea fan?
I am a Chelsea fan. I'm kind of first and foremost for the women, but of course for the men as well. And yeah, I feel a little spoiled right at the moment. Although with any team you follow, there's lots of ups and downs. So just trying to enjoy this so much. But after the years, for the women, I think for the progression, as you were talking about a minute ago, coming year after year after year under Emma Hayes, it just feels particularly sweet, kind of as a culmination of something that's been building for a long time. And now, certainly seeing it in the league, and just hopefully we can finish it off against Barcelona.
Are you confident?
I am confident, although that always makes me a little nervous because I certainly know how good Barcelona is as a team, and they're certainly capable of beating us as well. So I have a lot of confidence. It's hard not to be confident with this Chelsea team because every time they get in a huge match, they seem to come through. And so, that maybe that can't carry on forever, but this year it's felt a little bit of destiny every time they've stepped up in a match they really needed to win.
Do you think you can do the quadruple?
Yeah. It's kind of, we're gonna have to wait maybe till next year to find out a little bit over the summer, but certainly, I do, and that's the big hope, I guess. But again, I feel like I'm jinxing Emma Hayes and the team every time I say yes. So,
obviously, you say you're happy, right? You're happy with the way that the women's team are going and the men's as well. Do you have any kind of moments where you're thinking, oh, we need to change someone in this team? Are you a fan who's always upbeat, or do you kind of look for the negatives in your team that you're following?
No, unfortunately, I'm never too upbeat about really anything. I can always find something to be critical about. And I think really ever since Maren Melda's big injury, it's been a little nervy at the back. I mean, I think Jess Carter's done well. Niv Charles getting a chance to play kind of a more offensive fullback role. She's done quite well. But yeah, I mean, and then when Magda Eriksson's been hurt, I mean, it's when she and Bright aren't there together, we really don't look as solid. So I would think that if we buy any more attacking talent before we solidify the defensive reinforcements a little, all the Chelsea fans will be a little confused. But I of course, how can you really complain when even with those players missing, the results have seemed to come. But yes, I have the back has made me a little shaky, particularly against Bayern when the last 5 minutes or so of the second leg seemed to last for hours.
God, it did. I mean, I've got quite a few questions, Ali, but I don't want to hog them. Do you have any for a jubilant Chelsea fan? And I know it's difficult for you being West Ham as well.
It is. First off, do you want to send some of that talent that you're not using our way? But and also how many goalkeepers do you need? But no, in an all serious note, I mean, I want to talk about Emma Hayes because that is one phenomenal manager. And it doesn't matter your allegiances, you have to admit that. And I want to talk about what she said when she was linked with a lower leagued men's team, and about how everybody said it was a step up for her to go to this League One men's team. As a follower that follows both men and women's football, I just wanted to get your take on that.
Yeah, and I'm sure every fan might have a slightly different opinion, but I thought it was pretty darn insulting both to women's football and to Emma Hayes. I mean, the suggestion alone that any type of management in men's football would somehow in itself be superior to a opportunity in the women's game, I think that's a joke in itself. Again, I guess in theory it's maybe nice. Some people saw it nice to get recognized in a larger scale than she has been sometime, but pretty pretty patronizing in a way, in my opinion. And frankly, maybe I felt that way because I'll fight anybody that tries to say she should be anywhere else besides Chelsea Football Club. But you know, again, I am part of what's grown me in my passion for the women's team even more than the men's team is the authenticity of it, of the real. I don't know. It just feels so fun in the game to see it grow and to see the fans be so passionate about it, and to try to always constantly compare it to the men's game, which it has no need to be done, is it's just sad to see some of the individual spotlight on these women stolen and tried to point elsewhere than just on their own individual achievements.
Yeah, well said. We've got a comment from Craig who's got some great questions that we all have, but he's just quicker on the mark. He goes, how do you believe that Emma keeps such a big squad happy season in, season out?
I think that might be one of her biggest challenges and one of the things that makes her the most amazing, because that is, you feel a little sheepish as a Chelsea fan talking, because I really enjoy the WSL as a whole and I watch a lot of other matches, and you know, that's it. She does have such an embarrassment of riches. But, you know, I think about a player like Bethany England, who was such a key contributor and player of the year last year. And yet really, as this season's gone on since her concussion, she just didn't quite make it into the constant lineup selections like she had last year. And, you know, yet she seems to be a player that she's able to keep happy, so much of the attacking talent. But, you know, I don't know. I get chills even across the ocean when Emma Hayes gives her speeches about her players and how she cares about them and how it's a family and all of these things. And, you know, I just think there's a real belief in the team that it means something. And again, that this team has been building for something for a while, and that she's been at the helm of all of it. I think, you know, it makes it feel, again, as a Chelsea fan, you always feel that specialness inside your own club, but it seems to really be inside the squad as well.
You know what? I have a number of questions, but I'm conscious of time, and we've got a few other callers coming through. I want to ask you about a particular player, Beth England. We haven't seen enough of her this season, and I know that Ali's already talked about players being shifted over to West Ham if you're not being used. Would you be unhappy if she decided to look to play football elsewhere?
I would be really unhappy. I mean, you could hardly blame her a little bit, but she might be my favorite player at Chelsea. And again, after being around a little longer than some of those, you know, we've grown to love some of these players very quickly. But I think Beth has a really special place in the heart of a lot of, you know, Chelsea women fans. And I would be, and she above all, her and Fran Kirby would be the two I would have the most trouble actually seeing playing for any other colors.
Yeah, we've got a comment there, private comment, saying that season at Liverpool rejuvenated her. So it probably did.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, to see what she's gone through, the adversity she's faced, not only in her career, but just even within the club, to become such a key player and somebody, you know, so pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Someone that's saying, I'm not sure if this is correct. It would be unhappy if she went to City, or would be happy probably. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Only if she was like David Luiz was for Chelsea for a few years and sort of is playing for us from the other side.
You mean like the Mancunian candidate, the insider, the spy that just
exactly
defective.
Right.
Oh my days.
That's right.
That's brilliant. Jay, I'm so glad you're able to call. And you're calling from where exactly?
I am calling from Colorado, right in the middle of the state, out in out in the mountains of Colorado.
Wow. What time is it there, if you don't mind me asking? I'm always curious about time zones.
Yeah, it's just a little before 1 p.m. in the afternoon. So gonna grab a little lunch here.
Grab some lunch. Good for you. Thank you very much, sir, for calling and really appreciate it. And when we're back, please do call again.
Hey, wonderful show, guys. Love it. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Jay.
Right. We've had lots of good calls so far, but what we've got to do, please make sure that you do Follow us on Twitter with the Twitter handle. There it is. It's coming up there. We've got to show you a little video, the classified results as delivered by our very own Craig.
The Barclays Women's Super League. Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 0, Birmingham City 0, Tottenham 1, Brighton Hove Albion 3, Bristol City 1, West Ham United 0, Manchester City 1, Manchester United 2, Everton 0, and finally Chelsea 5, Reading 0.
Oh gosh, Chelsea. The emphasis on Chelsea 5. The emphasis is just terrible.
It takes a special team to beat Reading 5-0. Just
It
saying.
does. It does. That always makes me smile. Craig's just delivery and Chelsea 5. You just think, oh, who got beaten up 5? You're just pausing. Great stuff. I'm so happy. I've got to say thanks to everyone who's been watching. Thanks for those who've commented. Please do share your comments. We're getting calls from Colorado. You know,
Wide reach, man. Wide reach.
The women's football phone in for fans, by fans. We're just simple people trying to do the right thing. And I'm just one of the many faces. There are plenty of brainy people behind the scenes. You've no idea. I'm not one of them. We have another caller.
Yeah, you got my mate Kaz from Birmingham.
Ooh.
You got. Who's that calling? Who's that calling? Who's that calling?
Oh, we got technical. Hello.
No, say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, Kaz.
Hello, Kaz.
Hi, love. You all right?
I'm all right. I've not been called love for a while, so I'll be happy about that.
Oh, right. Just a few things for today. I want to say well done to Chelsea on winning the league. Couldn't have happened to a better team. Also, commiserations to Bristol, because I don't think they deserve to go down in the long run.
Yeah.
But as a Birmingham fan, I'm a bit happy about that. It was them and not us.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. And you know, in terms of the result today, you know, what are your thoughts on today's results and the season overall for Birmingham?
Right. So today's result, it was a bit of a hard one. Like, you've seen it in the Championship where like players are celebrating about staying up and all the fans. And today I felt a bit like I was saying to my partner that I wasn't happy about it. Like, we shouldn't have had to rely on Bristol getting beat, like, to stay up. We should have done it ourselves. The point deduction that we got off the FA, I don't think helped. Especially losing the 3 points to the Spurs game, because we had two players with COVID, but the FA didn't deem it as how everybody else was. Like, you had Dubai Gate, and all their games got called off, but we actually had people with COVID. But hey ho. But overall, I think Carla Ward's did a fantastic job. Bearing in mind what we had to sit through last season with the players that should have been performing week in, week out, that weren't. I think Carla's did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Especially with our budget as well. Less than 100k our budget was this season. And when you look at teams like Villa, who spent 2 something million on players and their wages, you can't compete with that when owners aren't putting money into the club.
Yeah. It's been a very difficult year for Birmingham, full stop, in terms of as you say, Dubai Gate, COVID, not enough players at the beginning of the season, and Carla has done a remarkable job kind of just being the glue that's held it all together. And despite the knocks from the management and the FA. I would say she's done a really, really good job. Do you see Birmingham pushing on from this position that they find themselves in now and being more of a mid-table team next season?
My honest opinion?
Yeah.
No, I don't. If they keep Carla, I think if Carla stays, I think maybe. But no, I can't see the owners putting the money in.
Wow.
I think they were hoping we were probably going to get relegated today, so they didn't have to put money into the club, but now they've got to. So, unfortunately, that's the way I think it's going. I think we will become the next Sunderland or the next Donny Bells.
Wow. Is that the serious? Is that how strongly you feel about the situation right now, that you believe that it could just kind of disappear from the landscape?
I've seen players like, when you look at players that we've had, Ellen White, probably one of the best players I will ever see in a blue shirt. So you're going from past players, Joe Potter, Remy Allen, Keris Harrop, Laura Bassett. I'm going to throw Enia Luko in here because she was good in a time. Jodie Taylor. You look at all them players, and then how we're never going to get anything like that ever again. We're going to have to rely on, and I'm sorry if anybody's listening to this, but if you bring a Sweetman Kirkin, then no Ellen White. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, the players that we've got are good. They're just not world class like we've been used to, unfortunately. Yet the players, I will never slag any of our players off, because this season, what they've done, they've gone above and beyond. Do you know what I mean? But I just can't see where the money's coming from to put into the club.
Yeah. I mean, would you say, considering everything that we've said about Emma Hayes, Carla Ward's job at the other end of the table, some would say that she could be in contention for manager of the season, considering all of the hurdles and obstacles that she's had to navigate and get over?
Oh, like, if Carla, obviously Emma Hayes will probably win manager of the month, but what Carla's done to this team, like, even for the fans, like, after last season, I think I message Carla every week and saying thank you for, like, just making me fall back and love the football again, because after last year I fell out of love with football, and it was very hard to come back from that. But what she's done for this club has been absolutely fantastic, and I will never have a bad word, whether Carla leaves or Carla stays, have a bad word for that manager, because she's been a fresh of breath air for me this season.
She has. I'm not sure if you got any questions, Ali, but there is a comment from Emma, and she's basically said that Birmingham need a turn of fortune. Probably they actually need their own financial security. But if they don't get that, they need the same kind of commitment from the management and the club owners that has been demonstrated by the players and managers on and off the pitch this season. That's what they need. And I mean, you began by saying that you felt that they would have preferred the club to have been relegated. So that it's hard for me to pose a question to you about the next season, knowing that's how you feel about the management or the owners of the club. It's difficult. Is Kaz still there? Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, you keep breaking up.
So
it's a bit hard. Obviously, we're moving to St Andrews next season, so that's going to be a bit of money that they're going to save on, obviously, going to the men's club, so they won't have to pay the most. But like before, we did have somebody who invested into the game for us. a few years back. His name was Tim Andrews. And obviously once they went with the one club, EFOS, that's when obviously he stopped. But I would love like somebody to come in and just take over, like even the men's club, because we need both clubs need the support of the owners, which they're not getting at the minute.
Comments that's there. Craig's asked, has the move to St Andrews it's not been accepted, has it? For
God,
women?
no. Like I'm not a men's fan, and for me, going to a women's game, it was the social aspect of it as well, like meeting up in the bar at the Moors, having a few drinks with the away fans and stuff like that. It felt more like a home, where at St Andrews you lose all that. It's too big, the stadium's too big. We're only going to get something like 300 people there, unless the men's fans start coming. So you're going to lose that atmosphere. Like, I don't know if anybody's seen the Reading game from a few years back. The atmosphere in that game was just unreal. And you're going to lose all the, like, talking to the players after the game. And it's just, I don't like clubs when they play at men's stadiums. You lose something from the game.
Yeah, you do. Hopefully, in the long run, that isn't always going to be the case, but I can definitely say that you do. Ali, do you have any other questions or comments for
Yeah,
Kaz?
like it's a thing that we've talked about on other shows and stuff like that. I'm going to make this quick. But Stoney versus Wardgate. Carla makes a statement and got fined and banned from a game. Stoney makes a similar statement. Nothing's happened that we know of. I want to know, do you think it's because she's got her club behind her that can fight her corner, or do you think it's because it's a top flight club versus a mid-table club?
I think you've just hit the nail on the head, love. So I think nothing happened to Casey Stoney because she manages a big team. And obviously the FA won't want to upset the big four. We'll class it as the big four now because it is going to be the big four. So yeah, you see it all the time. Managers and players have a go at the referee and stuff, and nothing gets happened. Little clubs like Birmingham or Bristol, or I'm going to even throw West Ham in there. You always find that the FA kick at little things that they do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's always going to be the clubs with the money against the clubs that haven't got any money that always get punished, unfortunately.
That's such a good question, Ali and Kaz. Thanks for sharing. Obviously, from your side, you see this, and I didn't want to actually mention this because I use it elsewhere, but I feel like I need to, and it's justice for Carla, support the girls. Justice for Carla and support the girls. So it needs to happen.
Definitely.
It needs to happen. Kaz, I'm going to say thanks for calling, and then please make sure you call again.
I will try. It depends if I'm at work or not. So it all depends.
No, don't. Well, even you could record your comments, and we will play them.
So I'll try then. I'll try.
Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome, mate. See you later.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. It's not often you get called love on YouTube, and I like that. Gosh, can't believe it's over an hour already. It's gone so quickly. A big thank you to everyone. Sorry, Ali.
I said it's the quality of the calls we've had.
It's been great. Thanks to everyone watching. Please join in with your comments and share your thoughts on the end of the season and others. I felt sad, not because of talking to Kaz, but just as a fan, you look at things and you talk about other clubs, but when you speak to a fan who's the emotional connection they have with the club then comes out when they tell you, we think the owners wanted to be relegated. You just think, what? you just don't understand what that must feel like for a fan of the club to say that about the owners of their own club. I've heard other fans say, yeah, we hope you get relegated, but with you know, that's for a bit of banter. But when you hear a fan of their own team say, we think the owners want us to get relegated because they just want to disband our team, that's, I don't know.
If the stories are true that came out about how bad the conditions are and how bad like the wages are, then it wouldn't surprise me if that's what they were trying to do.
Yeah, you know, when the game is awash with football, for some clubs, and it brings it back to the point that I was trying to make about the disparity as I see it in the Sky deal, 75-25. Could have been 70-30, could have been 65-35, could have been 60-40, you know, but Birmingham are not a small team as a club. They're well established, but for me, they do need to take matters into their hand and be serious about, are we going to support the women's team? And then it adds another question, and this is something that was mentioned when I was on the panel with DM actually, and talk about, you know, financial independence of women's teams being tied to the men's game. I mean, it's, for some clubs, it's like, you know, skirting quite close to a black hole. You know, the gravitational pull of doom is terrible. We've got another caller, I believe.
Yep. Say hi.
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 Oh.
Hi, it's Paul.
Hi, Paul. Whenever DM says say hi, I always think she's talking to me. I was like a command. Say hi.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, Paul. Nice to join us. Paul, who do you support, and what we want to talk about today?
Well, I'm a Man City women's football fan and a Man City men's fan. So I suppose it's the brilliant WSL season we've had this season, which has been a real, I think, a massive leap forward for the women's game.
Yeah, I feel it's almost, now that you've told me that you're a Man City fan, I feel compelled to bring Emma back in, because it's yeah, I feel compelled. So do you mind sharing the line with her, Paul, so you can talk together?
No.
Yeah, here she comes.
No, absolutely.
Emma's in the house. Paul, two Man City fans. Here we go.
All right, Paul.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Are you?
Yeah, I'm good. It's not the result we were looking for today, but certainly overall for the league, fantastic season of football. A massive leap forward, I think, in terms of quality right down the division, and probably a fair result, Chelsea winning it. But, you know, to push a very good team right down the wire, I think is a massive achievement for a new team with a new manager.
Are you ever slightly frustrated? I'm feeling a little bit frustrated at the moment. I mean, there are a lot of positives, don't get me wrong, but just obviously the second place finish again, obviously second fiddle to Chelsea once again. I mean, they'll be rubbing their hands together tonight.
Yeah, I think that's true. But I think for me, and this is probably quite a slightly controversial position, I think Gareth Taylor is bringing a different style of football to City. And I think if he'd been there pre-season, you know, and had a longer run into the season, I think we might have actually won it. For me, Nick Cushing always never seemed to me to have a plan B. If things weren't going well, it just kept plodding along. Where I think Taylor is tactically more aware, and the team he's putting together seems to me, with some exceptions like the Barcelona game, to be much more tactically adept when things aren't going so well. So I do share your frustration. I mean, it's now, 5 out of 6 coming second, 5 seasons second out of 6. That is frustrating. And we have to ask ourselves, what is the X factor that will take us to winning the league and potentially to a Champions League final?
Yeah, I think it's a question we've been asking for a while. But do you want to, obviously, with the summer incoming, we're going to see some incomings, outgoings at the club. Where do you feel the areas are that City do need to strengthen to take us to that next level?
Well, I think with all due respect to Ellen White, I don't think 10 goals in a season is quite what we're looking for. When it's so tight at the top, so we definitely need another striker, an out-and-out striker, even one that can come on and have an impact. And I think probably it's up front where I think we need to be thinking about strengthening. I think the midfield's pretty strong. The back four, the starting back four is pretty strong. Obviously, we've got the best young English keeper in the league, so that's good. And I think the number 2 did well today, and I thought she didn't do anything wrong. So I think for me, it's just having an out-and-out striker that score 15 to 20 goals a season, because I think 10 is probably not quite good enough at the level we're operating at, and certainly in Europe, we need a better out-and-out striker that can get on the end of some of the balls that particularly Lucy Bronze knocks across. You sometimes think, can we not just get somebody on the end of that? We just don't make enough of those opportunities for me, I don't think.
And a decent penalty taker. Now we've not got Chloe.
Do you know what?
Well,
go on. Sorry, go on.
To be honest with you, I think what the referee should do is award us a penalty and then just assume that we've missed it and go back to the centre circle and start the game again, because we just can't, like the men's team, we can literally not score a penalty. I mean, two misses today. I mean, in fairness, the West Ham keeper made decent saves, but they weren't great penalties. I mean, they weren't as terrible as Aguero's yesterday, which was like comedy.
Oh.
But I mean, the thing is, and that's the fine margins that we're talking about, isn't it? I mean, that's the fine margins about how you go from second and the quarterfinals of the Champions League to winning the league and getting to the final of the Champions League. And I think Gareth Taylor was absolutely right when he said after the Charity Shield earlier in the season that he felt Chelsea were a couple of transfer cycles ahead of us in terms of building their squad. I'm not entirely sure that's true, because I think when you bring in three World Cup winners and 2 of England's starting 11, that's a pretty clear sign of intent. But I do think we need to be at the top level. You can't. I mean, we missed a penalty against Barcelona. Another penalty, and that could have turned the game. Yeah. You've got to convert those chances, because Chelsea will. Chelsea will convert those chances.
I kind of feel now, like on reflection, that maybe we should have kept on to Pauline, had her for another season, and I think it would have been a completely different season again, because she had such a good season that it almost felt, we didn't see the best of her, and then she had such a great season, and it was a bit short-lived, and we never really went out and got a replacement for her.
No, I think you're right about that. I think you're absolutely right, and I think we've also got to be realistic about Steph Horton as well. We need to make sure that we rotate her in a better way than we have in the past. She's in a 32 now. She's still a fantastic player, but if you look at how the men's team manage older players, I think we need to be a bit cannier about that. So I think there's a lot that we can do in terms of ultimately Taylor's in with the City management team, and they are all about fine margins. So he will be looking at all of the things that we're talking about and thinking, what can I do just to be a little bit better about this? What can I do to make sure that we convert penalties? Yes, when we're up against it, can we switch it up? How do we rotate the squad in a way that is sensible? And so we're doing all of those things, and it is those fine margins. But 100 goals, an FA Cup win, qualifying for Europe, coming second to a very, very good Chelsea side. These are things that we should be celebrated as well. Great squad, lots of great young players coming through. And your heart goes out to Chloe Kelly, obviously, because she had that awful injury. when she probably would have gone to the Olympics. So, you have to sort of that sort of puts it in a bit of context, I think, as well, doesn't it? Puts it in perspective.
Yeah, I mean, we did lose a lot of our depth towards the end of the season. I think Tom's just put up a message there about Lavelle. And just to finish off, what have you made of obviously Sam Mewis coming into the squad and Lavelle, how they've performed for City this season?
Well, I mean, Sam Mewis, I think, has had a great season. I think the official supporters club voted her the number 3 in their player of the season. She's a top-class player and has delivered for us. Dal Gamper, the centre half, she's world-class. She's settled into that side. I think the big disappointment is Rose Lavelle. What happened there? She's a World Cup winner. She goes back to the American international side, is their player of the tournament in the Americas tournament, comes back to us and is on the bench. And I just wonder what's gone on there, because I don't know whether tactically she doesn't fit into our system or whether she's not robust enough. She did have some injuries earlier in the season, which I didn't think helped, but she's not really performed in the way that I hoped she would. And occasionally you see flashes how good she really is. So I think Mewis and Talcamper, absolutely brilliant signings and done the job. Roosevelt in flashes. But we have to say, what does it say about our league and about our club that 3 World Cup winners want to come and play in our team? That, I think, is a real testament to the strength of the WSL and to the quality of the facilities at City and the way that the women's players, are seen as part of one club. So I think they've really, for me, pretty much, acquitted themselves very well, particularly coming into a new environment, a new country, and a new system of playing.
It's brilliant. Paul, we've got to wrap it up, Paul. I'm glad Emma came in and you two were able to converse. It was good listening. Emma got all the points in. And you end on a positive. So
we're going to win the next season.
Yeah, well, we're not only are we going to win the league, we're going to do the double because we'll win the FA Cup as well. So there you go. I'm going to stick my neck out and say, we're going to do the double.
All right, brilliant. Thanks a lot, Paul.
Cheers, Paul.
Cheers.
All right, Emma, are you going back in the background again?
I will do if you want me to.
Oh, I don't mind. You might as well stay here for the last few minutes. It's clicking these buttons on and off, on and off. We've got one more caller coming in. I need to make sure I do some housekeeping as well. Thanking everyone. Make sure that they follow us on the Twitter. It's @hold_hold the line. @__. I've been told __. Hold the line. I have trouble getting into the bloody email account, let alone anything else. The one question that we haven't asked, and we need to ask it, so I need to find it, and it was asked in our information. Where do Arsenal go after, Joe?
It's hard to say at the minute, isn't it, really?
Well, it's a good thing Kaz is not here, because I would have probably said Carla Ward, but
I kind of hope there's a side of Carla, though, that we'll see it through in the hopes that things do get better for Birmingham next season. Because I kind of feel that surely they can't have a season as bad as what they've already had. Surely it proves now that they've got to take some time, go away, put some more effort, investment, money back into the club. They've had 2 seasons of this now. This is not just this season. This has been an ongoing thing. And I think Craig will probably agree this has been happening really since Mark Skinner left. It just seemed to have just all gone downhill. I'm really hoping they can turn it around next season now and have a good summer and just get back to where they belong. I mean, they're certainly better than where they are at the moment in terms of performances.
Yeah.
Say hi.
We've got a caller. Hello, DM. Hi.
Oh.
Hi.
Oh.
It's Chloe.
Chloe, is that you saying hi? Is Chloe, Chloe, were you saying hi?
Yeah.
It sounded like we were on one of those BBC4 Nordic dramas and I was looking for subtitles. I was saying hi. You were saying who?
Wow. Has Chloe been on the tinnies?
No.
Chloe, thanks for calling. Who do you support, and what's your points?
Yeah. Oh my days. What?
Chloe's been on the tins.
What? Yeah.
Chloe's been
Honestly,
on the
what?
tins.
No. I already drink actually. No. What a game today for Chelsea. So not only beat Reading 5-0 this time, but do it twice in the season, and do it when we need to win the title. Just incredible, absolutely incredible. This team. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what?
Not much else I can say. Really.
But no, there is a lot you can say. There is a lot you can say. Obviously, you are jubilant with the day, the result, the season.
Yeah.
In terms of Emma Hayes, what would happen, worst case scenario, that Emma said, I'm jacking it in, I'm going to go somewhere else?
They've just won the league. How harsh is that? Oh my God.
You know what? I just thought, let me just try and throw it in early.
I don't,
No, there's
it would
nothing.
be sad,
That is a silly question. I can never see. Honestly, I retract that question. I can never see Emma leaving Chelsea. It was an ill thought question. Forgive me. Someone save me. Someone save me. Ali save me.
So yeah, we've talked a lot about like the depth of the squad that Chelsea has got. You've got like 3 players for every position, and we've talked about it before. But why do you think Emma Hayes manages to keep every player happy, even if she's not playing them? Because if I'm Beth England, I'm going to be wanting to go up front and score goals. And if I'm not playing, but I'm still happy to be at Chelsea. So what do you think is the secret there?
I don't know. I think it's just she's got everybody playing for the team, not for themselves, but for the team, for the sort of team objective. That want to be the best of the best. And yeah, she's honestly, she amazes me that she's kept so many players on side that only she can seems to be able to do. Yeah, just I don't know. Just it's all for the team, really.
Chloe's just walking around with a big smile. Just the grin, the emanating grin down the phone call is you can feel it. You can feel it. What else? So it's a really good point coming through on our little private chat in terms of questions. What else can Chelsea win? I mean, apart from just winning obviously they've won the title this season. They go to the Champions League. Do you see this team, and I say this team, this selection of players, going on to repeat what they've done and achieved this season, next season, and the following season? Are they that good?
Yeah, they're that good. They really are that good. And to have done it this season without fans there, once we can get back into the stadium, yeah, they're going to be even more motivated to do it in front of the fans, for the fans again. Yeah, I can see this team repeating again. No doubt about it.
That's a troubling statement for those of us who aren't Chelsea fans. I will tell you that.
Yeah, there's just something about this team. You just can't put your finger on it, but just incredible.
Is winning all the time boring?
I mean, when it's Chelsea, it's not boring because sometimes we do make it hard for ourselves.
Yeah. Do you think it's ever been difficult this season in terms of where the team are right now? Do you believe it's been, at any point, did you ever feel not sure?
Yeah. There's been times where it's like some games where we were trying to score and it didn't seem to be going away, and then out of nowhere, just something happens. We get amazing luck sometimes this season. Like even Champions League recently, just being able to get through. Yeah, there's just something about this team.
Something about this team. Ali, have you got a question for your fellow London team? I see Ali's keeping quiet because she's a little bit of West Ham.
Question. It's up to Emma to ask a question now.
No, Emma's no.
Emma
No. There's no need to be like that. We're sharing the love.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
I think because we've got Chloe on, we've got to talk about Kirby. Incredible season.
You know me so well.
Incredible season. Obviously coming back from injury and illness, and that Kirby partnership that we've seen all season has really come to fruition now. How pleasing has it been to watch that? And is this the best Chelsea side ever? Do you think?
Well, yeah, it's absolutely incredible to see the partnership this season. I mean, to get from Fran to go from close to retiring, which is, I mean, I think she did retire once many years ago when she sort of fell out of love with football, but to come that close through health issues to retire, to link up with Sam Kerr and have the incredible season she's had, just wow. Even I didn't expect her, and I think she's absolutely incredible. Also, I'm going to put a shout out here. She's going to win the Ballon d'Or. She has to. I mean, just got to.
Hold back the tears, Emma. Hold them back.
And yeah, this Chelsea team, best ever, definitely. Wow. I mean, come on, we've just broken the record. We're the best WSL team ever. So, yeah, records speak for themselves.
How can I remove myself from this live?
No, you can't. You're staying on till the bitter end. It's like a roller coaster
to
ride.
be fair, Emma, you did push us close to the wire, so I'll give you that.
Yeah, I think it's been a really good season. I think it just shows that there is another level to go, and in terms of competitiveness, it's really been there. And I don't think that's just necessarily at the top either. I think that's right through the league. I do think we need to look at expanding it though. I think we need to make it bigger now. So a bit of a rant that I've had all season, and I think it would be more exciting to see more teams in it. So I don't know. We're just gonna have to see what happens. But I do think we've got to spend a bit more money in certain areas to ensure that we're competing again next season with Chelsea.
We've got a comment coming in. Chloe, before you go, I'm just going to read this comment. City near the striker, a certain tea drink. I didn't even read it before.
No.
I'm done. I can't even remove the comment. I didn't even read it before I added it. My bad.
I did Chloe, great.
Yeah. Chloe, before you go, I want to ask you. With Sam Kerr, obviously she made the big move over to Chelsea. I mean, I'm just going to ask you. I don't know the details of the deal. Will she be here next season? Will she be with the club beyond the next season?
Yeah. She signed a 2.5 year deal. Wow. So she's done sort of 1.5. So she's got another season at least.
Wow.
So
I can see him,
which is scary for the rest of the league. But
Chelsea do tend to go for the long deals as well, don't they? And seem to get them done as well. So they do like to see players commit to the club. I can see, a deal being done.
Yeah.
Well,
Chloe, I'm going to say thank you for calling in. We'll be literally running for time. And I know housekeeping is a big thing for certain individuals, so we've got to kind of keep it moving. I know that you were just overjoyed with the result today, so your call was just filled with smiles. And we've got a very important point that's coming from Craig, who's almost like Stato, but it's just the knowledge is ridiculous. You're like this, Chloe. is Sam Kerr has won the Golden Boot 6 times in 5 years in 3 different countries. That's scary. Scary. Chloe, thank you very much. Is Chloe gone? I think Chloe's just laughed herself off the call. I think she has. God, you know, we plan to do an hour and a half, right? And I always think it's going to be a long hour and a half, and then it just time flies. As much as we've been talking about, obviously the champions, it's not all been great. It's not been great for Birmingham. It's not been great for Bristol. It's not been great for Spurs. You know, change of manager, no wins in 10 or 11 games, just about a win today. And you know what was noticeable today as well? Who's that dropped off? It was, we're adding this individual to the stream. You're in the house.
Oh yeah, there we are.
You're in the house. You know what was noticeable about Spurs today in their win? They played with a back 3. And I don't believe they played with a back 3 for about 4 or 5 months, and they get a win. So really interesting to see. We've got
Chloe's still here, so just say goodbye to Chloe.
Oh right, Chloe. We thought Chloe'd gone.
No, I went, and then my internet died, and when it died, I just went with Lee.
We thought Chloe did a Shahan.
Oh.
We just talked. We just talked to her. We forgot she was there. Chloe.
Chloe.
Oh,
Yep.
Chloe has gone.
Yeah.
We're going to say goodbye to you, Chloe. It's almost like we're saying goodbye to you from the airport, and we're just doing it in a really bad way. Like we're saying goodbye, and we're not really moving. Bye.
We're going to the same direction.
We're going for the same door. We're like, bye. See. So, Chloe, thanks for calling. Really appreciate it. When we're back on, please do call again and tell us more about how happy you are.
Enjoy the celebrations.
Yeah, tell us about your Champions League win.
Oh yeah, will do.
Oh yeah, okay, definitely. All right, thanks a lot, Chloe.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Right, this is our 3rd one. This has been our 3rd one. Final day, end of season, bish bash, chatting to fans. This has been good. This has been good. I've enjoyed this. Always a little bit anxious before we go live because I always think something's going to go wrong. But women's football phoning. Ali, what have you got to say? Emma, what have you got to say? I'm doing all the talking. I don't want to talk anymore.
Yeah, it's been a weird season. Let's be honest. It's been long, but it feels like it's gone quickly. There's been some great football. There's been some not so great football. There's been Alex Morgan, and that was short-lived. But yeah, despite everything, I think I'm glad we've had it. I'm glad, even though we've not been able to be in the stadium as fans enjoying the games, that we've been able to watch some real top quality players come over to the WSL and shine on the stage. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I just need some time to get over it. That's all.
That's about it. Ali, final words from you.
We can only go up. We can only do better. I actually am quite happy, even though it was a loss, because this is the lowest loss we've had against City in our entire history of playing them.
Yeah, really played well today.
So yeah, it was a great performance for West Ham in general. So we can only go up. I think we're going to get rid of a lot of players. We're going to sign a lot of players. But yeah, overall, I was super happy.
Before I say my final words, we've got one last comment coming quickly from Charlotte Wilkins. Thank you. Do you think there will be a community shield again to open next season? Good question.
It'd be nice.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. Because I yeah, I kind of feel like they've kind of brought it in now. They've made the step. They've made the move to have it as that obviously showpiece game to open the season, to kick it off. So yeah, I'd like to see it come back. I hope it does. It'd be a shame if they didn't, after committing to obviously bringing that in. So it seems a bit daft if it didn't.
Yeah, I hope so as well. Look, guys, it has been a blast. I'm going to say thank you for joining us and spending your time with us, sharing your thoughts, calling all the way from Colorado. Nice. And it's been great to actually do this with like-minded individuals, and I have to thank Emma and Ali and Craig and DM for actually asking me to be involved, because I'm forever ever grateful for them as friends and people I know through football. And yeah, it's good. And this is the Women's Football Phone-In Show for fans by fans. It's that simple, really.
Yeah, thank you to everyone that's engaged with us and spread the word and got involved and called in, because obviously without you guys we couldn't do this. So thank you.
Yeah,
thank you very much, and big thanks to Craig. Is classified results, nice, and for DM, who does all of the hard work in terms of organising the calls and calling people back, and you, Emma, the graphics.
Emma did some.
Emma's done some as well. And see, hey, look, there's everyone. Hey, take a picture. I don't know how you do screenshots on my laptop, so I can't do that.
No idea.
No idea. As for the next show, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it, and we're going to sign off now and go and talk about the last episode of Line of Duty. I've got. Let's go. See you later. Bye.
Bye.